Have you ever heard of a king who wasn't really a king? A ruler with a crown, but no power. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and tragic story of Shah Jahan III, one of the last emperors of the mighty Mughal Empire. His reign was short, just about a year from 1759 to 1760. But it tells us so much about the empire's dramatic decline. Picture this. The mid-18th century, the once glorious Mughal Empire, which had stretched across most of India, was now a shadow of its former self. Its treasury was empty, its armies were weak, and its provinces were breaking away, declaring their independence. In the midst of this chaos, Emperor Alamgir II is assassinated. Who takes the throne? A young prince named Muhi Millet, who is given the grand title of Shah Jahan III. But this was no grand coronation. The real power wasn't with the new emperor. It was in the hands of a powerful and ambitious minister named Ahmed. He was the kingmaker, the one pulling all the strings. Shah Jahan III was, in every sense of the word, a puppet. He was placed on the throne simply to give a face to the crumbling government, a symbol of an authority that no longer existed. His name was on the coins, and prayers were said in his name in the mosques of Delhi, but that was the extent of his influence. Imagine being the emperor of one of the world's most legendary dynasties, but you can't make a single decision. You can't lead an army. You can't appoint your own officials. You can't even decide what's for dinner without someone else's approval. That was the reality for Shah Jahan III. He was a prisoner in his own palace, the Red Fort in Delhi. His job was to simply exist, to perform the rituals of an emperor while the real players battled for control of what was left of the empire. While Shah Jahan III sat on his powerless throne, the world outside his palace walls was in turmoil. The Marathas, a formidable power from the Deccan, were expanding their influence and frequently raiding Mughal territories, even threatening Delhi itself. To the east, the British East India Company was steadily gaining ground, transforming from a trading entity into a political and military force. In the north, Afghan invaders led by Ahmad Shah Abdali were launching repeated attacks, sacking cities, and further weakening the Mughal state. The empire was being torn apart from all sides, and the central government, led by the manipulative Imad al-Mulk, was completely ineffective. They were so broke they even had to strip silver from the ceilings of the imperial palaces just to pay their soldiers. The nobles and ministers were too busy with their own conspiracies and power struggles to unite against the external threats. It was a time of absolute anarchy and desperation. So, what happened to our puppet emperor? His reign, as you can imagine, didn't last long. The political situation in Delhi was incredibly volatile. Just 10 months after placing him on the throne, the powers that be decided they needed a new puppet. The invading Afghans and their Indian allies defeated the Marathas and took control of Delhi. They deposed Shah Jahan III and installed another prince, Shah Alam II, as the new emperor. After being removed from the throne, Shah Jahan III disappeared from the historical record. He likely lived the rest of his life in obscurity, a forgotten footnote in the final chapters of the Mughal Empire. His story is a powerful symbol of the empire's decay. It shows how the title of emperor had become hollow, a mere pawn in the games of powerful nobles. The grand legacy of rulers like Akbar and the original Shah Jahan had dissolved into a tragic farce. The brief and powerless reign of Shah Jahan III serves as a stark reminder that titles and symbols mean nothing without real authority. He was an emperor in name only, a ghost sitting on a throne, watching as his empire crumbled around him. It's a poignant tale that marks a critical moment in the transition of power in India, paving the way for the rise of new forces and the eventual dawn of the British Raj. Thanks for watching this deep dive into a lesser-known corner of history. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the past. Let me know in the comments what other historical figures you'd like to learn about. See you in the next video.